Jax Taylor calls out Brittany. Brittany Cartwright's house undergoes alterations. It was all nerves and tension, as Brittany Cartwright Jax Taylor had their first major. A sit-down conversation after his time away, at a mental health facility in Season 2, Episode 14 of The Valley. At the top of Cruz, their son is at the forefront of their priorities. However, as the conversation took place, Jax was quick to call out the new look of their formerly shared home. As Jax noted, wedding photos and photos of the couple together with their son had been removed. Instead, they'd been replaced by snapshots of Brittany with her friends. Brittany and Cruz together. Looks like I never even lived here, Jax pointed out during the July 15 episode. I know, Brittany responded. That's the point. There's not a single photo of you, anywhere. But Jax was perplexed at the rasher of him from the home and asked her, "Why are you doing that?" Brittany retorted, "Why would I want to look at your face every day?" Another difference producers noted in the decor was the personalized bourbon barrels hanging on the wall now says Brittany and Cruz, rather than Brittany and Jax. Jax wasn't pleased, to say the least. "Just wipe away 10 years? Just like that?" he commented, snapping his fingers. Brittany Cartwright details her exact home changes after Jax Taylor moved out. Brittany shared more of the changes in her home during the Valley after show and answered if she has any pictures of Jax hanging. "No, none, announced Brittany, adding that there's nothing that you can walk in and see that reflects her former relationship. The room that was previously Jax's the cave, is now a custom storage closet for Britain's Christmas and Halloween decorations. Brittany also redecorated the gym to include a pink rug, and its Brittany's sign is a neon hot pink. Barbell on the wall, and even photos of Marilyn Monroe was working out. I made it. Super girly because he took everything she shared it after the show. Finally, she made another big symbolic. That's visible the moment you walk in. She added a new welcome mat to the front door. There is a brand new welcome mat. It used to say the Catches, she told Pop, referring to Jax's legal surname. She quickly made the necessary changes. It now reads the Cartwrights. Where does Jax Taylor live now? After moving out of his former marital home, Jax relocated to a townhouse next door to Tom Schwartz. It's been 10 years since I've lived by myself. Jax shared on Season 2, Episode 10 of The Valley as he moved into his new space. As he considered this next chapter, he admitted he was both excited and nervous. Still, he felt grateful to Tom as in such close proximity. I just got out of rehab. I'm trying to rebuild myself. I need somebody there to talk to lean on, he said, and I can't think of a better person other than Tom Schwartz to do that. I mean, he's my best friend. Brittany stood in the doorway of what used to be their home. A bittersweet smile was playing on her lips. The air still held faint echoes of Jack's phantom limb ache resonated in the silence. Corners, but she was systematically excising them. She took a deep breath. The scent of fresh paint and new begins filling her lungs. The living room was her first major reclamation project. Gone were the carefully curated wedding photos, the staged family portraits that once declared their unity to anyone who entered. In their place, a vibrant tapestry of her life now unfolded on the walls. There were candid shots of her and crows caught midlife at the park or with flowers dusting their noses after a baking mishap. There were goofy selfies with her girlfriends, their eyes sparkle with shared secrets, and inside jokes. A particularly cherished one showed her, grinning widely, surrounded by a pile of hers favorite books. Jax had always teased her about her reading habits, preferring sports statistics for literary prose. Well, now she had a wall dedicated to her passions. Unburdened by his judgment, she walked over to the formerly framed photo of their wedding day had hung. Now a collection of smaller individual frames adorned the space. One held a picture of her in Cruz's building, a sandcastle, another serene landscape from a recent hike she's taken, with her friends. The final frame held a quote, elegantly calligraphed growth is it never happens by accident. It is the result of forces working together. It was a mantra she was living by. The personalized bourbon barrels once proudly proclaiming Brittany and Jax had been meticulously sanded down and re-engraved. Now, in an elegant script, they declared Brittany and Cruz. It was subtle, yet powerful statement, a visual declaration of her renewed priorities. Jax had bristled at it, of course his snapping fingers a testament to his perceived rasher. But for Brittany it wasn't about erasing him as much as it was about affirming herself. She had become more than just Jax's wife. She was Brittany, and she was Crow's mom. Her gaze drifted to the entryway. The welcome mat, once a saccharine declaration of the cautious, was gone. In its place, a cheerful, brightly colored mat now greeted visitors with a simple, clear message. The cart reads, a small private rebellion perhaps, but one that brought a surprising surge of satisfaction. It felt right. A return to her roots, reclaiming of her own identity. The man cave was her magnum opus of transformation. For years it had been a shrine to Jax's interests. Sports memorabilia, a large-screen TV perpetually tuned to ESPN, and an oppressive aura of stale beer and unspoken grievances. Now it was a whimsical wonderland, a custom storage closet bursting with the vibrant chaos of Christmas and Halloween decorations. Twinkling fairy lights were strung across the ceiling, casting a warm glow on neatly organized bins of ornaments. And elaborate costume pieces. A life-size skeleton in a glittery top-a-hat peeked out from behind a stack of pumpkin-shaped pillows. Brittany laughed. Her laughter was genuine and was her space, a testament to her love for all things festive and fun. Unmarred by any lingering masculine energy, the gym had undergone an even more dramatic metamorphosis. Jax had treated it as utilitarian torture chamber. A place for grunting. Jax had treated it like a utilitarian torture chamber, a place for grunting and heavy lifting. Brittany, on the other hand, I wanted a space that inspired joy and empowerment. A plush hot pink. The rug now covers the cold, hard floor. Its softness is a stark contrast to the sterile environment. It once was. On the wall, a bold neon sign glowed, proclaiming, "It's Brittany, bitch," in shimmering hot pink letters. Above it, a matching hot pink barbell, purely decorative, hung like a piece of modern art. Her favorite addition, however, was the gallery wall is dedicated to Marilyn. Monroe is depicted working out in several black and white photos. Black and white photos of Marilyn lifting weights, stretching, and even playing baseball. Brittany found a kinship with the legendary star, a shared spirit of strength and glamour. He took everything she'd explained in the after-show, a hint of steel in her voice. So, I made it super girly. It was a defiant act of self-care, a space where she could sweat out her frustrations and celebrate her own strength, both physical and emotional. Across town, Jax was settling into his new townhouse, a stark contrast to the home Brittany was meticulously curating. The silence was deafening, amplified by the echo of his footsteps in the empty rooms. 10 years since he lived alone, the thought was both exhilarating and terrifying. He missed being familiar. Chaos of family life, the constant hum of Brittany and Crez's presence. But he also felt a strange sense of liberation. A fresh start loomed before him. The furniture was still sparse, a mishmash of what he'd managed to salvage and a few new, hastily acquired pieces. The walls were bare, waiting for him to imprint his own identity upon them. What he hadn't identity would be. Rehabilitation had been grueling, but necessary ordeal, a forced reckoning with years of self-destructive patterns. He was trying to rebuild his life piece by painful piece. Painful piece. He was grateful for Tom. Schwartz lives next door. Tom, bless his heart, was a constant, steady presence, always ready with a sympathetic ear or shared laugh. Jax knew he couldn't have done this alone. He needed someone to lean on, someone who understood the complexities of his past and the fragility of his present. He entered what would eventually become his own man's cave, though he hadn't yet found the energy to truly transform it. He looked around, envisioning the possibilities. A big screen TV is definitely comfortable. Perhaps a recliner or even a dartboard could be included. There is a lot of work to do, both at home and on himself. He thought of Brittany, of the fierce determination in her eyes as she told him there wasn't a single photo of him left in the house. He couldn't deny the sting of it, the feeling of being erased, but he also understood her. Was healing just as he was. They were on parallel paths, both seeking to redefine themselves, albeit in very different ways. Jack sighed, running a hand through his hair. The journey ahead was long and uncertain, but the first after a long time he felt a flicker of hope. He was alone, but he wasn't lost. He was rebuilding, and maybe, just maybe, this new chapter would be his. This new chapter could be his finest to date. He just had to figure out what did Jack look like without Brittany. He needed Brittany's support. It was a daunting task, but one he was finally ready to face. He took a deep breath.